Many communities are dropping out of school to engage in various forms of crime, and parents and community leaders are clueless. The Old Tafo suburb of Kumasi is witnessing a wave of substance abuse uncharacteristic of the once peaceful neighborhood and education hub. JoyNews Mahmud Mohammed-Nurudeen spent time in the Zongo community there, digging deep into understand the extent of this social canker. In the following feature, he engages some of the gangsters and community leaders. Mahmud Mohammed has that report now.
Juvenile drug abusers are gradually and dangerously taking over the sprawling community of Old Tafo Zongo. Marijuana and other forms of dangerous drugs are becoming common sight to the ordinary resident. This community has a great reputation for academic pursuit, to which many people, both indigents and settlers, are proud to be associated. However, the eagerness in the past of young children to acquire both secular and Islamic knowledge has now given way to social vices. The trend can only evoke pain and tears for concerned citizens who care about the future. On the northeastern fringes of Kumasi lies Old Tafo, which falls within the Tafo-Pankrono constituency. The community, which once characterized by warmth and fraternity of inhabitants, is turning nasty and ugly by the day.
I just wanted to be a street boy, not an educated person.
What is so exciting? I mean, being a street guy.
Because I've been seeing most of the richest men in Ghana here and around the world, they are street niggas. And I wanted my life to be like them, because my role model is a street nigger. And I want to be like him. That's why I choose to be a street nigger.
Your role model is who?
Vice Cartel.
So what drives an innocent child as young as 10 into smoking not just cigarettes but cannabis, and ultimately end up with hard drugs?
You have been able to go through the educational ladder from primary JSS to SHS and even to the Polytechnic. You are privileged, I mean, to have gone through this system. Don't you think that is enough for you to...
To me, it's not enough, but I'm not a selfless person. I don't cry for myself alone. I cry for my society, my youth, because they are the same people that made me. They made me in great pain. I learned many things from them. Don't see them as young. Let me say something. Anytime you be with an elderly person, he talks about the past. But when we are with the youth, he talks about the future. And we are talking about tomorrow, not the past.
This is a story of a young man I call Mubarak in this piece. He leads a juvenile group of about 20 smokers at Old Tafo Zongo.
When I was not smoking, I was stubborn, causing problems with colleagues every day. I could not even finish my work on time.
If the boys want to feel in charge of what they see as their humiliating experience and face the reality of life, drugs prove the singular movement. From a life of grounded poverty, they take pride in substance abuse.
We call ourselves like Muslims in the society, and Islam is about unity. But even from the top, the leaders are separated. So how can they unite us? Who tell us to listen?
You feel? What comes to your mind when you smoke?
A lot of things, planning big dreams, good things about my life, meditating.
Big dreams?
Yes.
You want to become in future?
In future, just a street boy. Because I think street got a lot of benefits.
Many Islamic scholars and Western education intellectuals who made their mark in Ghana and beyond can trace their route to Old Tafo Zongo. The smoking of marijuana here has become a norm for these children. Sometimes the juveniles stay outside overnight, burning what they prefer to call herb.
I can see a lot of them here, and they say they have reasons for smoking. They've been doing this every day, some as young as 15 years old.
This is 18-year-old Abbas, as I refer to him. He started smoking marijuana at the age of 10.
When my mother and my father get divorced, and there is some small problem in the house. Tomorrow this, tomorrow that, and that time I see myself like a hustler. I just have to fight by myself to get some things. I see the world is running fast, and I too have to run. So I just try to join some street niggas. That time I was young.
Abbas claims though he was influenced into smoking, he started the habit willingly.
How does it help you?
Oh, it helps me many ways, because sometimes I feel like sad, but if I smoke, I feel fantastic.
All attempts made to speak to his parents proved futile. Abbas's story, unfortunately, is not an isolated one. He is only an addition to the growing list of marijuana smokers. It seems no one is safe, even when parents do their best to keep their children out of the group.
Gudun kada yaranka in ba su cikin wani hali su shiga wannan. So she cannot try to protect things.
We have been trying to protect our children from the gang. The truth is, you can't always move around with them. We are now resorting to prayers.
Ba daidai bane ka je ka zauna makaranta kana jiran yaro in ya tashi ka sa shi gaba. Dole yaro na da free shi dai da nasiha.
What has brought about this value shift?
Most of our parents here, let's to say, they feel their responsibilities. Sometimes ask why a child leaves home. Certain basic necessities a child needs to be home, because there are some stages. Ask nowadays, let's assume from 2015 to this 2017 in our Zongo society here, if you are making some cross check, you see some youth from the age of 12, 11, around the time of maybe 10, they're outside the room. Ask where are their parents. They feel their responsibilities because they did not bring them close to them.
I sought to find some answers from opinion leaders.
Question of sending the child to school doesn't appeal to them that much. Even if they should go to school now, it's expensive. So that becomes a problem. Accommodation is a problem. The father may be in a single room with the mother with 2 or 3, 4 little children. So when they become teenagers, what they are likely to do is they team up and they sleep anywhere, in people's kiosks, uncompleted houses. And that is where the peer influence comes in.
Alhaji Sedi Chipsa says he was surprised when the news was first brought to him.
I was very surprised. It was about a month ago that I received a letter from a section of the youth that this is what is happening. As far back as 2005, we encountered this problem and we called a meeting here. Some of the boys that had been identified, we called their parents, the boys, and then we started counseling them.
At Old Tafo Zongo, dreams of tomorrow are not chasing crowded schools either at the basic or second cycle levels. Juvenile smokers love to crawl on the fast lane and in most cases end up in misery. Crime is often associated with the breakdown of law and order. The case in Old Tafo is different. It has more to do with deeper moral decay. ASP Jeremiah Lale is commander in charge of the police drug enforcement unit in the Ashanti region.
This time rehabilitations, we need it, but trust me, those who are into it, those who have these conditions that require rehabilitations are uncountable. It needs a huge, infrastructure to take care of that.
Those ages, some is purely experimental and then they get hooked onto it.
Should we be worried?
Yeah, we should. We should be very, very worried because I think as a country we don't even have social services to support them.
The parents observe their children closely. A little change, they will realize it. And the community, yes, they should give information to us.
Yes, okay. Those who already have a drug habit, I think they need support. Usually, sometimes what happens is that then they become an outcast in their family. Nobody wants to get near them, but we need to listen to them. I mean, let them know, like the parents should let them know they are there for them.
Well, do these juvenile smokers really want to stop? I put the question to Abbas.
You don't want to stop?
Nah, because it helped me.
It helps you?
Yes.
Would you want to stop smoking?
No.
The more we smoke, the more I'm able to meditate.
You want
to stop?
No, I'm planning to get more money in my future. That time I will smoke more than I smoke this time.
If this is indeed the reflection of the society that we live in, then dreams of tomorrow for many poor children may just remain wishes and illusion. Mahmud Mohammed-Nurudeen, Joy News.
As long as you are alive and a breathe, give thanks for another day in the breeze. Every morning.
Mahmud Mohammed-Nurudeen filed that report. We'll open up a conversation about the abuse of narcotics on a bigger scale, but let's engage him on this matter. Hello, Mohammed, can you hear me?
Hello, Gifty, I can hear you. Right?
All right, good job with that story there. But you've engaged with these people, and you've indicated that it is on the rise, but then it's about how it is on the rise nationwide. Let's look at the area in focus. If on the scale of 100 or 100%, what's the percentage of those involved in abuse of narcotics?
Well, Gifty, in the past, it was very difficult to see young people like those we see in the videos smoking in this particular community. And within the shortest period of time, I mean, from last year that we know, that now the number has been increasing. I mean, actually, I can't put it into percentage, but what we know is that the number has been increasing, and those we know who were very, I mean, humble, very respectful are now into this smoking. I mean, they gave reasons, some of which we put it in the video, but for the percentage, we cannot put it into percentage. But what I know is that from the information I have gathered is that the number keeps increasing day by day.
Were there any evidence of drug-related crimes or drug-related, activities in the area that, of course, doesn't appeal to the people there?
Well, the cases of stealing and some other attacks, I mean, that we witnessed just a few days ago. We were told that somebody's room, I mean, was broken into, I mean, some thieves broke into his room and took some amount of money and some properties. I mean, it happens sometime like last week it happens. And there are cases of such similar things in the area. I mean, you look at it and you compare to the past, you realize these were not issues that were reported in the community. And so I must also say that this youth that we see in the video are among those who were involved in this Sakawa thing. Okay. And so lately, I mean, they are not getting chances to get, I mean, these monies from outside, from their clients.
Because people
outside.
Are becoming more careful?
Very, very true. And so they are resorting to smoking and some other things. I mean, it's not only about the marijuana that they smoke. I mean, they take some hard drugs as well. The last time I went there, I saw them doing some mixture of drugs and all that. And they are not ready to stop. In fact,
they are not ready to stop.
Yeah,
but there are some of them. There are some of them who did, indicate to you that this is something that they would like to stop. What is it that, even though some, it seems majority of them are not ready to stop because of the benefits that for them they get from smoking. But what is it that made them open up to you, especially when they are not ready to stop?
It actually took me about 3 months to get in touch with these guys. in the past, I would go there, talk to them, have a conversation with them, just to find out. I made friends with some of them, and later I spoke with one of the leaders, and I told him that it's important we tell their story. People think they are those committing crimes in the community, and so if they tell their story and tell why they are engaging in smoking, I am sure that the public will listen to them. And some of them they wouldn't want to stop the smoking, but they would appreciate, they would be happy if the leadership of the community come to their aid just to help them, speak to them so that they could go back to school. Some of them are willing to go back to school. Yes.
The resource persons that you spoke to, some of them indicated that these are people who need help. In the course of your documenting this story, did you engage any of the institutions, state institutions that are supposed to help them stop, like she's saying, that they need help?
Yes, I spoke with the regional commander for the drugs enforcement unit and ASC Alale, and he was saying that for now what they can do is to send them to rehabilitation center, see how they can reform them, so that whatever steps they will take in subsequent months, they will look at it. But for now, they need to reform them, make sure they get them out of the drug. So
this is the part. This is the first part of that documentary. What are we to expect in the second part?
The second part has to do with those that have been reformed. And what they intend to do in future. One of them told me, one of them was an computer engineer in Accra, and he claimed he was one of those who even worked on the Electoral Commission data or so. He claimed that he was part of those who worked on it, and that he wants to go back to school. And so he is okay now. And another one who claims he was a journalist in Brekum. And so he is also claiming that when he goes back, he wouldn't go and smoke or even drink alcohol anymore. So that one has to do with how people are trying to reform marijuana smokers in the Kumasi metropolis.
Well, we'll look forward to seeing that report. Thank you very much, Mahmud Mohammed-Nurudeen, correspondent in the Ashanti region, with that story about how